There's no magic wand for kindergarten classroom management. It's a whole unique animal all in itself. But it gets a lot easier when your systems are simple, clear, and consistent. And today, we're breaking down the 3 things every classroom actually needs to make that happen. Welcome to the Kindergarten Toolbox Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Murray, here to help you simplify kindergarten with tools and strategies that actually work with real live 5 and 6-year-olds. Let's dive into your shortcut to calmer days and more confident writers. Let's chat about something that I think will make a lot of things click for you. Because at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. Random strategies aren't working. It's the strategies. I need something different. And you can picture what you want your classroom to feel like and know that it's possible. But now the question is, what do I actually need to put in place so I can get there? I want to keep this really simple. Strong classroom management is not about having 10 different strategies going at once, and it doesn't happen by accident. You're not going to wave a magic wand and get there overnight. It comes down to having a few key pieces in place that work together. And the key here is to keep it as simple as possible so you can stay consistent. When I look at classrooms that feel calm, predictable, and manageable, they all have these same 3 things in place. The first thing is clear expectations. Very clear, okay? And this is really specific, not just rules written on a poster, not just things you say out loud over and over again. I mean, the expectations are clear and students know exactly what to do without guessing. So that when you say, get ready for writing, you don't have to explain what that means. They know. They go to their table, they get out their pencil, they get out their writing folder, and they're ready to go because you've practiced that and set the expectations. Because if students don't fully understand what it means to get ready for writing, they can't meet it. And it looks like behavior problems. Sometimes it's just confusion and they're not really sure what to do. Or if you weren't consistent in setting this expectation, the last 3 times you got ready for writing, now they've learned they can do whatever they please because you didn't hold them accountable. It's all about simplicity and consistency. The second thing I always see in calm classrooms are visual supports. It's the biggest missing piece in almost every primary classroom I've walked into. Because everything we're asking students to do verbally should be paired with a visual. That sounds dramatic, but visuals level the playing field for all of your learners. If they can't read, no problem, there's a visual. If they don't know English, no problem, there's a visual, a picture to show them. Because when expectations are only living verbally through your voice, students forget, and they're reliant on you to repeat it. They ask questions, they get off track. But when you have a visual, students can look, remember, and follow through. Or if they ask you, you can send them to the visual instead of spending another 5 minutes explaining the same directions that you've already explained 3 times. Right? Pairing with a visual changes everything. This could be the visual steps in your morning routine. This could be pictures showing students what choices they have for sitting on the carpet. It could be a simple reminder of what they're doing during work time. So like if your center starts with maybe an independent piece and then partner work, and then if you finish early, read a book, there's a picture for each of those steps so that they're not coming to bother you in the middle of your small groups. Visuals take the pressure off of you having to repeat yourself all day so you can stop sounding like a broken record, and help students to have an anchor of where to go when they forget what the expectation or routine might be. It's a game changer. You got to use visuals in your classroom. All right, next up, the third thing I see in calm classrooms is consistent routines. This is where everything starts to come together because even the best expectations and visuals aren't going to work if you change your routines every single day. Now, things come up and schedule changes are out of your control. I know that, right? You have an assembly or it's state testing week, and so your schedule is a mess. Or you have a volunteer coming in, and so your schedule is different. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about every time you do math. Do you start with whatever your activating strategy is, and then your whole group lesson, and then either your independent work, or do you have math groups, or what does that look like? Because if on Monday you start with math groups, and on Tuesday you start with that activator, and on Wednesday you decide, well, we're going to play a game today, that is a recipe for disaster. But consistency doesn't necessarily mean perfection. It means your students know this is how we do math. This is how we do writing every time. So instead of changing things based on the day or trying something new every single week, you're repeating those same routines until they become automatic. And this is where trust starts to build too. Your students start to believe, I know what's going to happen, and I know what I'm supposed to do. I know how to meet my teacher's expectations. And when that happens, behavior starts to be a lot more manageable and a lot less chaotic. When you put all of these together, clear expectations, paired with visual support and consistent routines, that's when your classroom starts to feel different. Not because your students suddenly changed or you changed, because the system is doing the hard work, the heavy lifting. It's the system. And this is exactly how I think about classroom management, building it one simple piece at a time on top of a firm foundation, making sure each part is clear and supported and consistent before you're moving on. Because when you try to fix everything at once, it doesn't stick. But when you build it step by step, that's when things start to take hold. Before we wrap up today, I want to give you something really simple that you can try for a quick win in your classroom tomorrow. I don't want this to feel like, okay, that makes sense, but then nothing changes because you don't have anything to go try. So I want you to pick one expectation in your classroom that you find yourself repeating all the time. Just one. Like maybe it's come to the carpet. If you say it's time to come to the carpet, please walk quietly, and they take off running and slide on their knees, or it looks like, I don't know, like the WWE wrestlers just walked into your classroom, pick that one and think about it. Do your students have a visual they can look at so they know what to do? Have you explicitly practiced this so that they can see what this looks like in practice? So for coming to the carpet, you could have a poster that has the student stand, push in your chair, walk to the carpet, sit quietly, and then start rewarding something small, a sticker, praise. Sometimes verbal praise is just enough. Reward the kids who are doing it correctly, the ones who are meeting that expectation. And when you pair it with the visual and you are consistent, watch how things start to change. As you start to think about your own kindergarten classroom, I want you to keep this really simple. Where are you missing one of these pieces? Is it clarity? Is it the visuals? Is it the consistency? Because you don't need to fix everything at once. We're just going to start one piece at a time. And in the next episode, we're going to take this a step further. We're going to talk about why having one simple system works so much better than trying to manage behavior with a bunch of different strategies and trying to piece them together. That's where things really start to click. If you're ready to stop piecing things together and actually feel more in control of your day and confident when you walk into that classroom, make sure you come back and listen to next week's episode. I'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to the Kindergarten Toolbox. I'm Amy Murray, and I'm so glad you're here. Be sure to check the show notes for all the links and resources from today's episode. For even more tips, tools, and support, head to teachingexceptionalkinders.com or connect with me on Instagram at teachingexceptionalkinders. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow along and subscribe to the show and take a minute to leave a review. It helps other kindergarten teachers to find us too. Teaching kindergarten is tough, but you're not alone. Here's to calmer days and more confident writers. You've got this.